Hey guys, welcome back to the Horror Crime series. In this episode we're going to be unlocking the Tombs of Amascut, then we're going to be making ourselves a checklist of items I wish to have before we brave our first 150 invocation TOA. Let's get into it. That should be our last golden nugget. We now have access at level 80 mining to go to the top side of Motherlode Mine. Restricted mine access, there we go. Now we don't have to be with the peasants down below, always wonderful news. For the most part, the bosses in Many of Cursed Lands were smooth sailing. We had issues with run energy on the champion, but we managed to keep our distance regardless and finish him off. The range potion in this fight kind of carried us. If we didn't have that, I doubt we would have beat him. The Metafight Act, however, always scares me due to the speed of the special attack and having to kill its ads in a timely manner. I initially dumped specs into them, but we didn't seem to need it, so I held off until later on in the fight, so that once we had the boss down to an appropriate HP level, when one spawned, we could just finish off the boss instead of actually switching and killing the ad. Now for our Tombs of Amascut checklist. First of all, I would like to get the Mage Book, Infinity Robe Top and the bottoms that will give us a bountiful amount of magic XP and essential mage accuracy for killing Akka. Next we have 70 free smithing, which we'll need to create adamant bolts so we can use ruby bolts to drastically reduce kill times provided we get lucky. The Warp Scepter then comes in, as it is the first charge-based magic weapon we can wield, giving us inventory space to bring thralls, and will scale with salts we get in the raid. Then we have 85 mining. This is mainly a quality of life that we can sometimes attain a 1 down in the Akka puzzle room to help save time overall, followed by a Berserker Ring, which will, when imbued, increase our max hit by 2. This is obviously useful throughout the raid in the Baba and Kefi room, but its biggest impact will be when we're hitting the Warden's Core in phase 2 of the final fight. Possibly the biggest upgrade will be this. The Thralls add on a ton of extra DPS, especially when you compare it to my low stats, which will make clearing each boss fight far quicker. And finally, what would this account be without getting ourselves one of the most iconic items in RuneScape? The Fire Cape, which will obviously grant us more melee damage, but the prayer bonus should prove useful in conserving supplies. This series of items should allow us to comfortably complete our initial raids. Decided to knock out some of the puzzle combat achievements in Tombs of Amascut to get a healthy boost to our medium requirement. Then we knocked out some of the Barrows ones. We managed to get Faithless Crypt Run out of the way and do the Novice one by killing one brother and opening the chest. That then brought us up to the requirement, so we went and claimed our Gommel's Hilt 2. We then dumped our XP into Slayer. That's because our Herblore is in a pretty healthy place right now, and I just want to move it along a little bit. It's quite ass to train at the moment. To start us off on the grind, we managed to get ourselves a Darok's Great Axe. While not useful to us right now, there's a chance it can come in handy for some combat achievements if we get that far. Swiftly followed up by one of the items we wanted, the Torag's Plate Body, a massive upgrade for our Perilous Moons runs. Well, we just had a little bit of a break from Barrows because I went and did some off-stream and I decided to finish it off. We're going to claim our Mage Book. This is going to be one of the items we are using in TOA initially. It has a bunch of accuracy, but also a 2% damage bonus for magic. Went back into the Barrows and didn't see much for a while until we snagged the Torag's Plate Legs. We now no longer have to be at Barrows, so let's go send some Perilous Moons. We managed to obtain a Blood Moon top. I was originally planning to do a lot more Perilous Moons, but I decided that I want to do MTA, as not only will I get the plus 1% magic armor guaranteed, I'll also get a lot of magic levels in the process. I'm about to just hop because this Rhorrn is pissing me off. Rhorrn, the door's open. Thank you. And there we have 56 thieving. Now we can go do Path of Glovery. We decided to have a little bit of a break from Perilous Moons. Even if we only have 25 KC, we'll probably aim to that each day. Maybe more than once per day, but we'll work on it slowly. It's a pretty boring minigame. Well, I did forget that making a Mithril Grapple requires 59 smithing, so I'm going to be in the prison of Giant's Foundry for a little bit. Shouldn't take too much longer than an hour though. And this sword is 60 smithing. We came here for 59 smithing to get the grapple, but I thought I might as well get one more level so we don't have to pay to enter the blast furnace. So if we ever want to go and like process our ores, we can go do that. Before I do that though, I'm going to have to get myself a coal bag, so it's not quite so egregious in there. But you know, nothing a little bit of Motherlode Mine won't sort. It shouldn't take too long with high mining level. Okay, we spent a little bit of time at the Motherlode Mine. We got over 100 nuggets, so now we can buy ourselves a coal bag for later. I don't really care too much about the Prospector's outfit right now. Gem bag would also be nice if we're going to AFK some shooting stars, but it's not good for now. First Brimmy chest on the account. Dragon dart tips, not useful for far too long. Kind of a waste of time. We've been doing a bit of Slayer. We managed to get 3 hard clues, but we've only finished 1. The other one's going to be usable later. We just have to do Swan Song. What do we get? Decent archables and some purple sweets. Well, it's been a long time coming. I've kind of been a little bit lax on this. But we're going to make sure we have our glory mounted. Is it here? That's a portrait. Guild trophy. Glory mounted. Now that if we ever want to go, you know, Edgeville, Cramjer, Draenor Village, Alcarid, we can get there easily. I should have built this a long time ago. I just kind of forgot. But I was deciding I'm going to do Enlightened Journey right now. And I need to go to see Sarah. So I built it. Due to my lack of foresight, we're going to have to be waiting on this willow tree to grow to do Enlightened Journey. Fortunately, we get given a basket of apples so we can protect it. But still going to have to wait for it to grow. So we'll be coming back to this quest later. I think we're going to start doing Garden of Tranquility next. I have a absolute disdain for these farming quests. But, you know, they need to get done. Hey-ho. And there we have all of Ella Maria's plants sorted. So we're just going to have to do some other quests while we wait for them to grow. To maintain a little bit of efficiency, you know what I'm saying? What the bloody hell is happening to those dwarfs back there? Okay, and that's Giant Dwarf completed. I was bored of waiting for the garden to grow to impress Ella Maria, even though, you know, planting them is just not quite enough. So we can go back there now. That took me a while, and that's a very boring quest out of the way. Rolly, I've come to fetch you. Your queen wants you. And she's taking credit for what I did. Will Ella Maria ever be stopped? To be fair, Rolled is a bit of an asshole. That is Gone Tranquility completed. I think that's me quested out for a little bit. I'm probably going to go skill for now. And the next clip should be me at Enlightened Journey, finishing that one off too, but trees take far longer to grow. Medium casket. Hog. A white headband. I think we might need that for a wildy step that we won't ever be doing. That's 75 mage. I'll be doing some Scurrius on and off to be training our combat stats while we get more prepared for TOA. We got the clue step that requires a bone dagger, so I decided now's the time to get our spec weapon for TOA. And that's Path of Gluffery completed. Gonna go use all of our lamps. 58 Slayer, we can now do Cave Horrors as well to get a black mask, which will obviously help our Slayer grind immensely. Slug Menace completed. We did this so we can get the upgraded prayer armor. Then we're going to go farm ourselves a black mask, and then we're going to follow that up with a warp scepter. That's the plan. Let's go get the herb sack. Tithe farm completed forever? Absolutely not. I don't know the herb lore level. And there's Enlightened Journey completed. We managed to get it over the line. I'm just waiting on the branches to be done. I've decided to go ahead and do Cave Horrors without the herb sack for now, because I don't have the supplies to get to 58 herb lore, which is going by pretty fast. I know I'm using prayer potions, that's not everyone's cup of tea, but I don't really care. Get some decent seed supplies. We're going to keep teaks for planks, but yeah. I see you want to get a black mask. Managed to get ourselves 77 hit points. We're now 429 Cave Horrors in with no black mask in sight, but we'll keep pushing on. And there is kill 512. We are now officially dry. However, we have gotten 5 Snapdragon Seeds, 8 Avantoes, and 12 Tovlac Seeds on the way by. That's what I care about the most. And there we have it, 719 KC in. We've finally got our black mask. We'll do one more for good luck. Now that we have the black mask, we're probably going to think about imbuing it real soon. We're going to hold off for a while because I'm not going to do any Slayer coming up. But once we get the B ring, we'll knock out both imbues at once. Okay, I just spent 30 minutes doing some Blast Furnace. We managed to get ourselves over 1,000 mithril bars and 1,000 steel bars. This should get us to 70 free smithing so that we can go to our fire cape with adamant bolts. And then we have 70 smithing. I bought every single one of the molds. We don't have anything else in here, but when we come back, we'll probably make sure to get a few pieces. In order to get our warp scepter, which has a drop rate of 1 in 320, we're going to be utilizing this safe spot. The kills take roughly 1 minute each, so we'll be coming here on and off to whittle down the grind. On 37 KC Perilous Moons, we managed to pull ourselves an item for our initial TOA runs, the Blue Moon Mask. I decided that maging the warp tortoises was getting too expensive to keep up, so I came back to the Giant's Foundry to knock out 73 smithing so we can make ourselves some adamant bolts. With these, we'll also be able to take on the fire cape with them. I'm not worried in the long run about needing adamant, as every boss and their mother drops stacks of it nowadays. Also just noticed we gained about 1.5 million GP from this grind. We didn't use all the bars that we made, but that was to be expected. Will we use them later? Maybe we'll make some cannonballs or whatnot, but probably not. It'll take too long. Luckily, we have ourselves 1400 adamant. We're not going to be able to make all of that, but I don't think we're going to need too many. I'll probably make like 5,000 bolts for the future. We'll convert some of those into rubies, some into diamonds, and some just to use for whatever, really. So it shouldn't take too long. And there's just over 500 bars made. We're now going to smith and fletch these into adamant bolts and go slay some warp tortoises. It's at this point I must admit to you that I accepted some gift subs from people wanting to watch me suffer. So instead of getting 1 scepter, I'm going to have to get 3 as I have to alch my first 2. And there is all of the adamant bolts fletched. Now to get ourselves a decent setup, they'll be camping the warped tortoises for. Makes me look like a bit of a tool, but it's actually our best range helmet, so we'll be going in this. I don't really have an offhand, I don't think. I'll double check before I go. If you see me put one on, I found something, but yeah, let's get grinding. Okay, we find ourselves back at the tortoises. You'll hear from me next time when we hit the drop rate. Currently we're only at 124. I almost came in here without my earmuffs, so I could have died very pathetically, but see you soon. We managed to pull our first of the 3 warp scepters needed. Roughly 200 kills into the grind, so it's almost been 4 hours of work so far. Okay, we've had a little bit of a break after doing some warp tortoises, and we decided we're going to get to 85 mining for TOA. And once we put this in here, that should be, wait for it, 85 mining. That's one of the TOA checklists items off the list. TOE. I saved up all of my nuggets during the grind so we could afford a full prospector's outfit, and we're only 7 nuggets away from getting our gem bag. I'll get back to it as soon as it's useful enough to buy. I decided to not go straight back into grinding our scepter, so I went to Barrows so we could farm up enough death runes to get ourselves a berserker ring, which drops from the Dagonoth Rex at a rate of 1 in 128. The berserker ring gives us +4 strength, which can be imbued to a +8 strength bonus, which in most situations would give us 2 max hits, which will speed up the melee grinds immensely. 20 KC down. I don't know how many kills we got in us. I think we used like 1,300 death runes getting to this point. We're probably going to be constrained by our super antis. We've got another hour and a half. Hopefully we get it in this trip. Lads, we got the wrong ring. Gotta stay 1 more for the back-to-back, ain't ya? Oh, no back-to-back. Unfortunate, eh? To maintain our super anti-poison stack, I've been coming to the observatory north of Castle Walls and hopping to pick up single-dose spawns. Oh, you already know I'm a spoon, brother. I've got both rings. Do we stay for an axe? Do we stay for an axe? That's the question. Pog, dude. Pog, dude. Grat, stay. Grat, stay. Yes, stay, stay. Might as well stay, stay. Yes, yes, stay. Sorry, I'm just pretending to YouTube that I have a bigger chat than I do. We started to stick around for potentially a dragon axe, but we just ended up getting a dupe warrior ring. We'll stick around until about 75 KC and see what we get. Oh my god, we got the axe on 69. I think we just finished at 69 then. Let's go. The meme number. Wow. Alright, so we just did some PvP arena. We managed to get 2 imbues, 1 for our black mask and 1 for our berserker ring. So if we decide to do some slayer, we can go do that now. And that is 1 more item off the list of TOA goals. That's all we got time for in this episode. Luckily, the Rex spooning means we're well on the way to completing our Tombs of Amascut checklist and getting our first normal raid done, which we'll be striving for in the next episode. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.